Okay, awesome. Okay, well, thank you all for being on today. I see some new names. I see some names that I know from all different teams, all different parts of the country. So excited y'all are all on here today. My name is Beth Anderson. If I have not met you, I think I've met most people on here, but there's a couple maybe I have not. But I am about to celebrate my 5-year Plexus anniversary next week, and I cannot believe that that's about to happen because I did not start Plexus for a business, and I was not going to take the products for more than a month. So crazy things happen, and God definitely had a whole different plan for me. And so we're going to tell our stories. This is Alicia. And Alicia was my second ambassador with Plexus. And Alicia and I used to go to church together. And so, but we did not go to the same church at that time, but she saw something that I posted on Facebook, which I swore I would never do, but I did. So anyways, we're just going to kind of get started telling our stories, and then we'll get into our training. But like I said, I started Plexus 5 years ago on March the 17th. And I did so skeptically. I did so reluctantly. Yes.
Wait.
What?
You started on St. Patrick's Day.
I know, and I just realized
That's cool.
I just realized, I mean, like, I've always known that I started on March the 17th, but I just realized it was St. Patrick's.
That's funny. Okay, sorry.
When I looked it up. So, anyways, but I truthfully, guys, had no interest in any of this. And I had watched my friends Celeste, Gwen, and Ariel Post, and Rainey Anderson. They had all been taking the products for months. And I really thought they were crazy, y'all. I was like, yeah, whatever. They look good and they have energy. But, I mean, honestly, if you want my real opinion, I was like, what's this they're doing? You know, and I'm not a product girl, but I was like, what are they doing? Because I kept thinking back to, like, the fin days and crazy days, you know, back in the day. So, anyways, I was like, okay, whatever. Well, Celeste joined finally. And did y'all know that? So Celeste is my sponsor, and she's a double diamond. She's the first double diamond in the company. And do you know that she took the products and sent all of her friends to order under her best friend, Jen Hawkins, like for months and months and months, because she was not going to have anything to do with this business either. So anyways, so Celeste calls and she goes, hey, you need to do this with me. And I was like, no, I don't. Whatever. We were friends. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to take the products. I am so like turned off by network marketing. No, I'm not going to do this. Well, I was training for a half marathon, and I was gaining weight, which was not okay because I was running like 1 million miles a week and getting chunky. And so my husband said, why don't we just try it? Why don't we just try the products? What is it going to hurt? And I was like, okay, whatever. So we signed up for the discount. We weren't even smart enough to buy the big welcome pack. We just bought the $99. It had Slim and Accelerator, and started that way. We had no clue what we were doing, no clue what we were taking. I just wanted to lose weight. That was it. I didn't think it was going to work for me. And so I had already said, okay, well, I'll do this for a month, but then I'm going to turn it off. Well, we were sitting outside. Like, I literally remember sitting outside in the driveway. We used to hang out with all of our neighbors, and one of our neighbors was sitting out there with us, and he was like, what are y'all doing? And I go, I don't know. We're about to drink some drink and lose weight. And he goes, well, I'll try it. He goes, if y'all are going to try it, I'll try it. So 2 points to that are good training tools. I will say this. If Celeste never called me and said, do this with me, I would still not be even drinking Plexus Slim today, 5 years later. No way. I would have never just seen somebody post on Facebook and be like, oh, I'm interested in that. They were my like dear friends. I hung out with them all the time, and they drank it. And I watched them, and I had no interest. So I never would have just seen a Facebook post and been like, oh, I'm going to call that person and see if they want to do, you know, if I can do Plexus with them. No. So if she wouldn't call me, I still would not be doing it. And the second one is, guys, you don't have to know everything. Like, I didn't know what I was taking. I didn't know. The only products I knew that Plexus had at that time were Plexus Slim and Accelerator, and they could make you lose weight. I didn't know what the ingredients were. I didn't know where they came from. I knew it was a pink drink. And my neighbor trusted me enough to say, well, if you are trying it, I'm going to try it too, guys. So 2 points to that. Ask your friends, call them, ask them, and then tell people what you're doing because they're going to trust you. You don't have to know everything. So anyways, we started taking it. And very quickly, I noticed that like my soda cravings went away. I was working 3 part-time jobs at the time, which was a lot more than a full-time job. And my husband traveled, and we have 2 boys who are very busy. And so I was so tired all the time. So I drank Coke all day long. And I don't drink coffee, I drink Coke. And so very quickly, I realized that my soda cravings went away. My sugar cravings also started to go away. I love to bake. I'm not necessarily a candy person, but I love homemade baked stuff. And that I didn't want it. In fact, this week Jake's here by himself, and so he's kind of getting to do whatever he wants. And the other day I was like, hey, do you want to bake something? Because he loves to bake. And he goes, what? He goes, I was just thinking I wanted to bake cookies, but I really didn't think you'd let me do it. I'm like, I'm so bad. But we just don't eat them. I mean, I'm not saying we never eat them by any means, but I used to bake homemade stuff for my kids, goodies, 2 or 3 times a week. And so that just went away. And my energy started coming back. And so, Celeste called one day, and this was in the first couple of weeks, and she was like, okay, I want you to post on Facebook 2 times a day. And I was like, no, I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to post on Facebook. You're crazy. And she's like, well, why? And I said, well, what are people going to think of me? People are going to offend me. People are going to talk about me. People are going to think I'm crazy. I'm not doing that. And all I can say is that God truly had other plans and helped me get past that very quickly. And I did start posting on Facebook. My very first ambassador was my brother. He came to town, and they sat down, and I literally threw the box. It wasn't even a box. It was this little flip thing that I hadn't opened. And I was like, oh, we're about to start. We just got this in the mail. We're about to start drinking some pink drink. I don't know. We're going to lose weight. Here you go. Well, my sister-in-law is like smart and looks at it and, understands everything. And they're like, well, we'll try it if you're trying it. So here's my first ambassador. Alicia is my second ambassador. She saw me off of Facebook, and I'll let her tell that story when she tells her story. And then my third ambassador was Ariel Post. And so Alicia and Ariel are both diamonds as well. And my brother is senior gold or ruby, I think. So anyways, we just started sharing. We started sharing with our friends. We didn't know. We didn't have team pages. We didn't have all the YouTube videos. We didn't have all the corporate stuff that they give us, the shareables. We had nothing at all. But we started sharing something that we were doing with our friends and family, and people started trusting us, and people started having health results. Over time, my husband's cholesterol dropped over 100 points. As we added new products, our family has had many different health stories, just in our 4, my kids don't have eczema anymore. They don't have warts anymore. They don't have stomach bugs as much anymore. My husband is off his anxiety medication because of the vital biome. So many different things. And so I'm here to tell you that people need Plexus. Everyone needs Plexus. Everyone needs a vitamin. Everyone needs a probiotic. Everybody needs Plexus. I'm also here to tell you that your best friends may not say yes right away. Your best friends and family may think you're crazy, and they may say you're crazy, and they may make you uncomfortable for a long time. I still have many family members and friends that don't do Plexus. I have best friends that after 3 or 4 years, finally were like, okay, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to try it. Some of them don't sell it. Some of them just take it. But I'm here to tell you, people say no, and people may even your close people might poke fun or, say crazy things. It's okay. People need Plexus. I've seen lives change in so many different ways. I can't tell you the number of people that said, you know what, I can live my life now. I can get out of bed. I can be a mom. I can play with my kids. I can do whatever. And because of Plexus, I know people who can buy groceries without sweating it, without worrying if their credit card's going to go through. I know people who can pay their mortgage that couldn't pay their mortgage. Guys, we were there. We had been there. We were coming out of it. We were there. And so Plexus is changing people's lives, and it's changed my life tremendously. And so that's kind of my story. Alicia will tell you her story, and then we'll start training a little bit. And if you have questions, put them in the chat.
Yes. Chat. If you look at the, if you're on a computer, if you'll scroll down, just with your mouse, the chat thing will pop up. And if you're on your phone, I'm not sure. I can't remember.
There's a chat somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. There's somewhere on your phone if you need to do it that way. But, Anyway, thank you, Jolene, for being live. I want to see in your face.
I know.
Yay, we get to see somebody. Now, if anybody
We
else
know some people are at work, and that's fabulous.
I get, yes, I saw that. I think Nancy was hiding.
Awesome.
So that's totally, I totally get it, y'all. Do not, feel bad at all. This is totally up to you if you want your video on or not. But I feel like well, we're just going to sit with Jolene here. We'll chat with her. So anyway, so I'm Alicia McKee. I'm in Frisco, Texas. And like Beth said, we used to go to church together a long, long time ago. We were Facebook friends, but we weren't like hangout friends, right? I didn't see her all the time. But I will tell you, I have 4 girls, and I had what we call a bonus baby 3 weeks before I turned 40. Okay. I was like, God, you're so funny. Anyway. And so, we had this sweet little girl. It was much, much, much harder to lose weight in your 40s, okay, than it was for my other 3. And so I was definitely looking for something, and I was on Facebook one day when she was little bitty, and I was actually still nursing, and I saw a friend of Beth, a girl that Beth and I also went to church with a long, long time ago, but she had moved to Louisiana, and she was posting about this thing called Plexus. First of all, I thought it was a weird name. Okay, anybody else? I thought that's a dumb, weird name. And then I asked her about it because she was saying that it was helping her lose weight. I'm like, whatever, you're skinny anyway. But I asked her about it. She sent me to her website. It was so confusing. This is like 3 websites ago, y'all. Yeah. It was so confusing. It was, I didn't even know anything about the product. She didn't tell me anything about the product. She just said, check out my website. Well, there was nothing to check out. It was really just basic, and I didn't even understand. I was like, you know what? I'm nursing. I'll check this out when I'm done nursing, and then maybe I'll do something. I forgot about it, y'all. She did not ask me. She didn't follow up. She didn't post about it anymore. She's like a one and done poster. She posted about that one time. Then she started posting about her t-shirt business and never posted about Plexus again. So what did that tell me in my head? Oh, it didn't work anymore. She's done. It's a fad. She's not doing it anymore, right? That was not the truth. Okay. But that's what I thought. So fast forward 9 months. None of my other friends posted about Plexus. I forgot about it. I still needed to lose baby weight. And when Beth posted about it, I was like, oh, that's familiar to me. That's that thing that my other friend was posting about. I reached out to her, and she said, oh, yeah, Scott and I are loving it. Let me bring you a sample later. I'm going to be by Target. I used to live right by Target. And it was the closest one to her, too. So she said, I'm going to be by Target. Let me just drop this off at your house. So she came over. She goes, y'all, you do not have to know all about the products to get your friends on board. And I'm saying this because literally Beth came over to my house. She goes, do you have a bottle of water? All you got to do is pour this in the bottle. I know nothing else about it. But she goes, I think Scott had lost like 11 pounds. You had lost like 5 or 6 pounds at that time. It was still real new to her. And I was like, well, this tastes good. Seriously, this is yummy. I could totally drink this. That was it. I was sold. I was like, what do we do to sign up? She goes, well, this is what I did. She goes, I'm a bargain shopper. I wanted it for the best price. I'm like, well, me too. I wanted it for the best price. So from that day forward, from me joining for the best price, how do you think that I shared with all my friends? Do like me, join for the best price. And y'all, that got me to Emerald in 7 months by telling my friends, join me. This is the best price. This is what I did. And then I started sharing with my friends because I needed my products paid for because it was not in our budget. It was not in Beth's budget. I mean, we did not have the money to spend $100 per person, for me and my husband a month to do this. Okay. And literally I was so desperate at that time for something to help me feel better and have energy and lose some baby weight. Cause it was not coming off for me or my husband because we do everything together. And so I knew I needed to join for both of us. We were actually looking into another company that was a 21-day program that was going to be like $189 a person. And literally I joined Plexus because it was a better deal because I'm a bargain shopper. True and true. Okay. We didn't know anything about the products, but it was a better deal. So that's what sold me in the beginning. And then within a week, y'all, of just being on the products, I didn't want my Diet Coke anymore, which I didn't sign up for that. I never said I want to quit Diet Coke. That was not part of my bargain. I was not ready to give it up. But I found myself driving past Sonic during happy hour, which if you're a Texas girl or South person, you know what that is. And I would not want to stop and get my Route 44 Diet Coke, which is giant 44 ounces of Diet Coke. Well, Sonic has this great ice. So not only would I go get my Route 44 Diet Coke, I would drink it all, go home and refill it, because you don't want to waste that good ice, right? So I was drinking a lot of Diet Coke. Now, this wasn't every day, but a lot, because that was like my little treat. But I didn't want it anymore. I started feeling better. I started sleeping better. With my fourth pregnancy, I developed something called plantar fasciitis, which you can develop in pregnancy. I didn't know that. I was like, I thought that I was dying. I could not walk from my bed to the crib without hurting in the mornings. I would have to do stretches on my feet before I could get up to get the baby. I'm like, something is wrong with me. I was getting shots in my feet every 2 weeks. Steroid shots, shots in your feet. Have you ever done that? Yeah, I don't recommend it. But y'all, the lady called from the doctor's office to make sure I was coming in for my shot. And I told her, I said, you know what, my feet aren't hurting right now, so I'll call you back when I need another shot, because they were $70 each. And I never called her back, ever. It's been almost 5 years. I've never called her back. My feet are fine. I can wear flip-flops. Hallelujah. I can wear high heels. I mean, it's crazy, right? Well, guess what? It's inflammation. I got to the root cause. I didn't just cover it up with a shot, right? I got to the root cause. I started learning about supplements and how probiotics can help me, how, BioCleanse, it's necessary to poop every day. I did not know that as an adult. Nobody told me, because my whole life I didn't poop every day. So
no, it's crazy. Yeah. Whenever we were in the hospital with Jake back in the fall when he was so sick, one of the doctors came to me and she goes, kids, they need to poop every day, but it's not normal for adults to poop every day. And I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, we need to have a discussion. It wasn't appropriate at that time, but I was like, I need to see you outside. But, even doctors get used to not pooping every day. That is not okay.
It's not okay. You need to poop every day. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't know that, right? Nobody ever told me, because that wasn't my normal. Sometimes I would go a week. Y'all, that's gross. Anyway. Not anymore. So, okay. Now I'm sidetracked because we were talking about poop.
I'm sorry.
Okay, but that's okay. All right. So then I also started seeing how, the Slim thing regulates your blood sugar, right? I had something called PCOS. I still have it. You don't ever get rid of it, right? It's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the treatment for that is a drug called metformin, which is a diabetic drug to regulate your blood sugar. Okay. Metformin made me sick, so I didn't want to take it. So I just dealt with the symptoms every month. So what happened was, when I started taking this these supplements that helped regulate my blood sugar, because I did not want to be on medicine, it was like 2 months in, and I went to the doctor, and my OB, my checkup for the year. And I told her, I said, you know what? I said, she goes, you look great. What are you doing? You've lost, I think at that time I'd lost like 15 pounds. She goes, you look great. And she asked me what I was doing. And I told her, I go, you know what? I just don't get it. Why would something that's, was designed for diabetics to regulate blood sugar, why would that be good for somebody like me? I don't have I'm not diabetic. And she said, actually, blood sugar regulation is good for everybody, because so many things stem from your blood sugar. Isn't that crazy? But she said, let's just do a test of your blood work just to see how this has affected your PCOS. And if you go to Facebook and you put in the search bar, Alicia McKee and PCOS, you will see, because it's been shared a gazillion million times, my report that says no sign of PCOS. And I had it over 10 years. I still have it, but I'm keeping it at bay with Slim, right? Is that not crazy amazing? Now, everybody's different. I'm not saying if you have PCOS, this is going to help you. It just did for me, because that was my issue. That was my trigger, was the blood sugar thing. And so anyway, it's been amazing. I used to have to, if I was driving and I had a painful cyst, I would have to pull over on the side of the road, take some deep breaths before I could keep driving again. I remember doing that like several times, even in high school. And I didn't know I thought it was just a cramp. It wasn't during my cycle. It was, it was ovulation time. That's when I would get these huge cysts, and it would hurt so bad. And I didn't know what was wrong. It would hurt when I would walk. It wasn't until I was trying to get pregnant that we discovered that I had this and found the root cause. So very, very, very thankful I don't have that pain anymore. So for those reasons alone, if it never helped me lose the baby weight, it's changed my health tremendously. And not just me, my whole family. Now that's a whole nother story. Can't get into all that right now, but I just want to tell y'all, just by sharing, just everybody here knows somebody that has inflammation issues, has blood sugar issues, has some kind of health concern. Maybe they're not pooping because it's so common. It's more common than you would ever think. And I don't know if you realize people that are on Miralax every day, Miralax has an ingredient in it that is also an antifreeze. I'm sorry, but I don't want to give my kids that. When I found that out, I kind of freaked out a little bit because doctors will be like, oh, prescribe Miralax, like, left and right, like nobody's business. Well, I'm sure they're getting a big old, check from Miralax because they do that all the time. But we've got to educate people and tell them that there is a better way, right? Anyway, let's start training because I could go on and on. Just like we just have lots of stories. April next month will be my 5-year. Like Beth said, I'm her second ambassador. So middle of April will be.
I think we were like pretty much a month apart, real close to a month apart.
Right. We're right about a month apart. So
I'm St. Patrick's Day. I'm St. Patrick's Day.
I know. I got to look up my date and see what date it is. We'll just call it Alicia Day.
I kind of think it's the 17th. I kind of think maybe.
My day is 17th too?
You might be.
Maybe. It's somewhere right around there, for sure.
Okay. All right. So when Alicia and I started doing these, we've been doing these forever now, it seems like. We started brainstorming and we're like, okay, both of us, we're going to like write down some ideas of what we think people need to know about how to work their plexus business, right? So I wrote down those ideas. She was writing them down. We put them together, and she goes, "This is what's in our success kit." She goes, "The quick start guide right here. If y'all have this." She goes, "Everything we just wrote down is on the quick start guide," which is really funny because like ambassadors helped write the success kit. So anyway, so we're like, okay, well, we're just going to use our quick start guide. So we go through this and we just kind of add some of our flair to it. But our first thing that we like to talk about is being a product of the product. And I know that a lot of us just start, with using one product, and that's great because, you have to start somewhere. Like I said, I just started with Slim. My husband started with Slim and Accelerator. But as time went on and we actually learned that there were other products besides weight loss products, that's what we thought it was. We started using different products. And so now I will say this, that I don't use every single product. My husband doesn't use every single product, but together we do use every single product. And so he uses a couple that I don't, I use a couple that he doesn't because it works for what we need. But everybody can use Plexus products. I've really been on a mission the past couple months with all the flu junk going around, messaging people, letting them know about our amazing vitamins. Everyone needs a vitamin. We have vitamins for everyone. We have 3 different kinds of vitamins, right? So I've just been cold messaging, which is sometimes hard for me, but I just say, hey, you know what? I know you have kids. I know the flu's going around. I just want to let you know about these vitamins that we have. They're absolutely amazing. Put a couple graphics about it. I've gotten several customers because they don't know that we just sell vitamins. So many people think that Plexus is just weight loss, which is what we thought. But now I don't even share Plexus as weight loss, truthfully. Like I share Plexus as all this other health stuff. So anyways, but being a product, if you're not taking your products every day, you're not going to believe that they work because they're not working. I promise you, if you're not taking them every day, they're not working because they're not intended to just take sometimes. They are supposed to be taken every single day. So if you're not doing that, start taking your products. If you have customers saying, oh, it's not working. Well, are you taking it every day? Are you drinking water? Oh, yeah, I'm taking it every day. Yeah, well, those people, then you see the next month that they're selling their Plexus online garage sale because they haven't taken it every day. And so, of course, it's not working, right? You have to be a product of the product. And I'm going to encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. And if you can, purchase one more product next month. Purchase our Mega X. Purchase our X Factor. Purchase, something that intrigues you and learn it. Purchase our Ease Cream. Fabulous stuff, by the way. But be a product of the product so you believe in these products and so you have a story to share with people.
Okay, let's talk about the success kit. And if you've signed up recently, then you got one of these in the mail or with your kit, with your welcome pack. So do you see it? It says Plexus Roadmap to Success. So inside, you've got lots of great tools. Mine is totally out of order. So I'm just going to go through what my little thing here is. Okay, so she already showed you this, right? The quick start guide. This is a great checklist. If you have a new ambassador, this is something that we didn't have when we first started. We had no, we were the blind leading the blind when we started, for sure. We did not have anything to check off We were just passing around stuff that we got from pretty much from Sonia Dudley. So anyway, this is great though. This is 10 steps, and that's what we're going over today. But you can actually, we want to teach you this so that you can go and share this with your newbies, because it makes it easy, right? You don't have to come up with all this yourself and say, you don't have to come up with something and say, well, this is what we should be doing. If we all teach the same thing, then it makes it much easier and duplicatable, right? And then people don't have to look at you and say, well, I could never do that. And then you say, well, yes, you could, because here, this is what I follow. It's pretty easy. Okay, in here, you've got some product cards. These are awesome. You can stick these in your purse, especially if you're new. Don't feel like you need to know about every single one of our products. I think we have 17 products right now. We're getting several more this year, so be excited, okay? Definitely, for sure, have some products coming. So hallelujah, we're excited. Don't know what they are yet, but we're excited because we know they'll be good. Our company's awesome. So anyway, but I love this. You've got pricing on each one. You've got talking points. Look, and you've got the 3 different prices. See there, retail, preferred, and ambassador price. So like me, I'm bargain. I don't want to pay too much for something. Give me the cheapest price, right? The cool thing when you walk somebody through this and you're showing them the pricing, say, yes, ambassador pricing is $33.70, but we also make commission on all of our own purchases. So if you have, if you have some friends that join you and let's just say they order the triplex, you've got 3 or 4 of those friends that are ordering triplex and your PV is over $500, plus you've got orders in there, you're making an additional 25% on your own purchases. So you're getting wholesale plus 25%. Yes, that's the best deal, right? We are bargain shoppers, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Then this also has a good little product price list cheat sheet on it. So don't feel like you've got to look everything up, and you've got it right here. We have made it super easy for you. Like I said, conversation starters that you can say one thing about each product. You don't have to know everything there is to know about everything. This is an amazing tool. It's called the Roadmap to Success book. Now, this is written by diamonds. So you've got experienced people that have shared what works in here. Make sure that you spend some time with this. Take this to bed a couple of nights in a row and just look through a couple of pages each night. Get a highlighter, fold the pages. Make this your Plexus Bible of learning what to talk about, what is important, how to share. Talks about social media. We're going to get to that in a minute too. But lots of good guidelines. What you should do daily to grow your business. What about taking new products? How you should start your products, building a team. All that is in here. So take some time and learn about that. What else is in here? This In Motion magazine. Is that in there? It was in my pile. Yeah. I think it is. Yes. It is. Okay. Yeah. Now, this is what's cool, because this In Motion is also in our, as well as all this other stuff. If you did not get this kit for some reason, maybe you joined a little bit earlier before this kit came out, you can actually go to your back office and there's a digital version back there. So don't feel like, well, I didn't get that. You can actually go back there. You can print this out if you wanted to. But here's some tips from some Diamond Ambassadors. Also, our upline Celeste is featured in here, and it talks about different things that they did. It talks about how to get to silver, how to get to gold. It talks about all the different steps. And I will tell you, when I was just starting out, I had no idea there was a Plexus Lexus. I had no idea what it meant to be jeweled. I knew that I needed 3 people to get to silver, and that's what I concentrated on. I did not care about gold at that point. I needed 3 people to get to silver. Once I got those 3, what's next? Gold. Okay, what do I got to get to gold? I got to get 20 people? Okay, that's what I focused on. Because for me, and at the time, people were going way quicker than me. And I know that's crazy. I'm telling you, I got to, jewel level in 7 months. I was not the quickest, okay? And so I was thinking, oh my goodness, people are getting, I can't do that. I just got to think about what is my next step. And that is what got me there. So one step at a time. If I looked at big picture and I said, oh my gosh, I need 4,500 points to get to diamond, I would have been like, that would have been way over my head. And I would have been so overwhelmed. It would not have happened. But anyway, so I've just focused one thing at a time. So just get to know your success kit. Also, I think it also comes with the product catalog, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. These are amazing. And if you haven't ordered these, I encourage you to. They're cheap. It's like $17 for 25, I think. It's not expensive at all. And that is also a tax write-off. But if you are, have friends that are interested in learning about plexus, bring one of these with you to a coffee talk. Okay. Meet them for coffee, meet them for lunch, pull this out and walk through the pages. You don't have to know everything there is to know about a microbiome. You've got a picture here describing it. Okay. What is gut health? Well, it's described in here. What about our clinical trials? It's right here. Okay. But here's the other cool thing is this, and you take your pen with you because you want to write all over it and share. This is what I take. And this is how many I take. This is how many I take of this. And they're like, oh, okay. All right. And say, well, you know what? When I first started, I just did Slim Accelerator. You can start that way too. But guess what? Here's Vital Biome. And I think that you would like this. If somebody that, has had a history of anxiety, they might really like that. Okay. But then, hang on, here's some more clinical studies. But look, on here also, it does the same thing as those product cards I showed you, is it will break out all 3 prices. So you can say, you know what, you can try 1 month of, if you wanted to try Boost, it's for 1 month, it's $39.95.
We never do that.
Right? But my point is, but look, you can save $10 a month by being an ambassador, plus 25% off of that. So, I know you're a smart person. I know you would not want to pay $10 more a month for a product, right? So it kind of gives you a little proof and third-party validation here in this catalog. So take these with you when you go meet somebody to talk about plexus.
Yeah, and what she's saying is, when I am, like, I just got a new customer this week, and, I'm like, okay, just go order preferred. I'm like, you can order it the other way. I go, but this is cheaper. It does ship every month. They have complete control where they can go in and cancel it, like, before the next one ships. But it's so much cheaper, y'all. Like, every once in a while somebody won't listen to me and we'll do retail, but like I never, ever, ever promote doing retail because it's cheaper for the customer to do preferred. On the flip side of that, first of all, it's cheaper for the customer. On the flip side, you do get a preferred bonus on top of your commission for every month that they order, and each product is a different amount. So for each product that order preferred, you actually get a bonus. But the whole point, the first part of it and the most important part is it's cheaper for them. And so that's why we really do share that and push that. But I do love that they have it broken down so you can say, like, look, this is how much you're going to spend. You might as well do it this way. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So the next thing we like to talk about is stating your why. And 5 years in, my why has actually changed and developed several different times. When I first started flat out, my why was I wanted to lose weight. I didn't want anything else. I just wanted to lose weight. And maybe that's where you're starting, or maybe it's that you want to feel better or whatever. But if that was just my only why, that wouldn't keep me passionate about this business, right? And so as my why developed, I remember a few months in, I was sitting, remember I told you I was working like a crazy lady. I mean, I was so tired, y'all. And I remember sitting in Ariel Post's office. Like I literally can picture us where I was sitting in her office. And I said, oh my gosh, Ariel, I said, listen, if we could just make $500 through December, I wouldn't have to stress out about Christmas. Okay, first of all, we were making more than $500 at that point. So why I said $500? It's because that made sense to me. I knew if I could make $500 for the next 4 or 5 months, that I wouldn't have to stress about how I was going to pay for Christmas, because I used to have a garage sale every December to pay for Christmas. And so in my mind, that's what I was bound and determined to do. I was like, okay, so I'm going to do this because I'm not going to have to stress out about Christmas, right? And so we kept doing it, and I went Emerald the month before Christmas. So, I mean, like, really, it's funny that but in my head, $500 made sense to me, right? And so then I started realizing, well, gosh, I can do this. What if I could replace all of my crazy jobs and just do this and be a full-time mama again? Oh my gosh, how fabulous would that be? Now, let me preface this with, I know that everybody was not meant to stay home to be a stay-at-home mom, and more power to you. But I can tell you, growing up, when I was in middle school, y'all, I knew I was going to be a stay-at-home mom. I was going to do whatever it took to be a stay-at-home mom. People would ask me in college, what do you want to do when you graduate? Well, I'm going to have a job, but I'm going to get married and have kids, and I'm going to stay home. When I had a job, I was very successful, and people were like, are you so excited about the opportunity to move up? I was like, nope, because pretty soon I'm going to have a baby, and I'm going to stay home. Like, that was my mindset. And I'm so thankful that God did give me the desire of my heart, and I was able to stay home when my babies were born. my husband was in the mortgage industry. And for those of you that are old enough to remember that, the mortgage industry crashed and we literally lost everything, pretty much everything except for our house we lost, and had no more savings. We were putting, electric bills on the credit card, putting food on the credit card. I mean, we were not surviving. And so I remember this opportunity and thinking, gosh, maybe so I picked up all these jobs. I mean, and I'm so thankful for all those jobs, but I thought maybe this is a way for me to be back and be that stay-at-home mom, right? And so that became my why. I'm going to work this business so I can maybe stay home. And God did bless me with that again. And so now I am a full-time mom. And I always put my kids first. I'm not saying that by any means, but it's a lot easier to drop what you're doing when you're working from home than when you're working 3 other jobs and you have to call and sick. I remember one day when I was working one of my jobs, my kids were in carpool and they had a wreck on the way to school. They weren't hurt very bad, but I had to go take care of them. I had to take them to school. The lady who took them couldn't drive them to school. They couldn't even get out of the car because the car was smashed in. And I remember my boss who were friends of mine, and I had to call and be like, I'm sorry, I can't be there right now. I've got to get my kids are in a wreck, and stressing out about having to call them and then rushing back to work once I got them and being so worried about them. And so my why was I want to be home with my kids. And so pretty soon I was able to do that. I had to finish my contract, but I was able to do that. And then my why was, I told you my husband traveled. I was like, gosh, wouldn't it be nice if he didn't have to be gone all the time? I mean, he was gone all the time. And I have 2 boys and their boys needed their daddy. And I can't do homework the older they get. So they really needed their daddy because he's much smarter than me. And so he was able to eventually retire and stay home. And he does some stuff on the side and invests and stuff like that. But he's home with us and he coaches football at their school. He doesn't work at their school, but he coaches football at their school. And he picks them up from school when he needs to. And he's at their school all the time. And he does their homework and he doesn't miss a game. And so that became my why. And then it switched to, I want to help all these other mamas and daddies meet their dreams and meet their goals, whether it be just to get healthy or whether it be to have a different lifestyle than they have right now. I want to help people meet that. And so that's what pushes me every day. When I have a bad day, I have this board right here on my wall, and it has pictures of Plexus stuff and my dreams with Plexus and all of that. And it's sitting right there in front of me, my goals with Plexus. And when I have a bad day, I go look at that. There's pictures of team members and stuff. Or I go look at, today I made a post, if y'all haven't seen it, and it talks about all the people that I've met through Plexus and all how their lives have changed. I see people on here and I know their lives have been changed because of Plexus. And that's what keeps me going, because I'm not going to lie. I do have bad days. I do lose customers. I do sometimes think, where the heck am I going to get another customer or ambassador? But then I have to think, no, people need Plexus. People need Plexus. And so if you have this why, and if you have it written down where you can see it, even on the bad days, even when you're tired and you're grumpy and you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to anybody, you can look in that and be like, no, this is my why. I'm going to be able to pay for Christmas. I'm going to be able to send my kids to gymnastics. I'm going to be able to buy my groceries and not have to worry about if my debit card's going to go through. Guys, I've been there and I know that, but these Plexus has changed that for our family, and it can change it for you too. But you have to have that why and get that why specific. Like for me, that $500, or what was that $500 going to do? Is it going to pay your car payment? Is it going to allow your kids to take piano lessons? What will that do for you? What could Plexus do for you? And write it down where you can see it. And I want y'all to share that with us. I want y'all to message that to either Alicia or myself or both of us, so we can know how to help you with that. But we'll talk about that in a bit. So
one of the things when I first started, of course, my first why had to do with weight loss too, but then I started seeing the financial benefits. And one of the things that my oldest daughter had always wanted to do, she wanted to be on a travel team for softball that went to places like California and Colorado and Georgia. And we couldn't afford that, because that meant not only to pay for the travel team, but you had to pay for, air flights and hotels and all this. And these were trips that a team would do in one season, right? That's a lot of trips. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like a family vacation, 3 family vacations, for her to be on this team. But let me tell you, when I said yes, that she could do this, I mean, her world changed. So my why became helping my kids, right? Because I wanted to be able to provide that. And guess what? That first season that she was on that travel team that went to all those college showcases and did the, performed in front of all these, where all these college recruiters were, she was recruited the summer after her freshman year, was recruited by 4 D1 colleges and about 6 D2 colleges that wanted her as a 14-year-old girl for college. Okay. It was insane. And guess what? Because of that, because she was able to do that, and she actually finished her, through her senior year being on travel teams, she's actually playing D1 college and is fulfilling her dream right now. And so I keep thinking, had Plexus not come into my life when it did, would we have been able to do this for her? No, we couldn't have, because it was a lot of money. It was very expensive. It was a lot of time, that things that I needed to be able to do and not have to have a job where I had to be at somewhere at a certain time, but I was able to provide that financially for her. And so it's not just about your dreams. It's about who in your family or who can you help, as well. All right. The next one, let's talk about, setting your goals. So you want to make sure that your goals are SMART, and SMART meaning specific, a specific goal. Maybe it's to get to silver. Maybe it's to get to super silver this month, because you get that double bonus, right? Whether it's specific, it's measurable. How do I get there? How do I get to that goal? Attainable. You don't want to say, I'm going to get to Emerald your first month. You don't want to say you want to get to Ruby your first month. It needs to be attainable, something you actually can make happen this month. It needs to be realistic. Same thing. Is this a realistic goal? But definitely want to push yourself, but you want it to be realistic. And then you want to give it a time frame, whether it's a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. And then get with your upline or a sideline or a spouse or a best friend and share your goals. And if you share your goals with somebody and they can help hold you accountable and ask you, hey, how are you doing? Did you get to that super silver thing you're trying to reach? If you tell your mom, tell your neighbor, they can ask you about it and hold you accountable. So, setting goals, especially when you're first starting, is very important, especially like if you haven't launched your business yet. What's your goal? Okay, I'm going to launch my business by Friday. It's tomorrow, in case you didn't know.
I was about to say Friday because that's tomorrow and you need to do it today.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Just do it. We didn't think about it. We didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we were launching a business. Okay. So the next thing, and we've kind of both touched on it, is connect with your sponsor, Upline Jewel. Okay. So let me tell you this. I know there are some people, and maybe some of you out there, I don't know, who their sponsor doesn't work the business anymore, who they signed you and then never did anything again. And guess what, guys? It's okay. You have people there waiting for you with their arms ready to open and have you there. We have a gal on our team who's about to go diamond, and her next 2 uplines don't work at all. We have people who are jewels, who have 4 or 5 people, 6 people in between, who don't work their business at all. Like people I've never even heard of. And I'm like, how? What? It happens more times than not. And that is their decision. And we have to just roll with it, right? But you have somebody in your upline that wants to help you. You have Alicia or myself. No matter what level you are to us, you have Alicia or myself. And so if you need that, you need to be connecting with an upline sponsor or an upline jewel. Share your goals with them. I always encourage everybody when they get off of this call to literally private message us and tell us your why and tell us your goals, because we want to be there and help you with that. We have team pages we want you to be involved in. We want you to be involved when we have team lunches if you're local. We want to be there with you to encourage you to make this your family, because I promise you this is one big, huge, happy family. It's the truth. It's sometimes I'm like, this is weird that this is a business, but it's the truth. And so anyways, so connect with them, connect with us. Let us know those things, because we want to be there to help you and encourage you.
Okay, next is to make your Franks list. And if you haven't done this yet, Franks stands for your friends, your relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, people in your neighborhood, and your kids' connections. And the S can be for different things. It can be service organizations you're part of, your spouse connections, and S can also be for social media. Okay, so when we started, we were told you need to make a list of 100. Then everybody was saying Everybody knows 200 people. Make your list of 200. Well, now Plexus has found a way to make it a little bit more specific. And in your back office, you can print this off. It's a 64 contact sheet, and it divides it out for you. If you don't have this, just log into your back office. I think it's under training, but you're just looking for people who would benefit from the products, people who would benefit from the business. You know somebody who could use an extra $500 a month. Even an extra $200 a month would make a big difference for them. You know somebody who needs the business. You know somebody who has poor gut health. You know somebody who's addicted to Monster drinks. You know somebody who definitely needs our products, right? And then people who need Plexus. They just need Plexus. Maybe they're a new mom and they don't have a social. There's nobody that they can connect to. They need friends. They need community. They need that social aspect. And maybe they're a little bit depressed. And, God came to me with Plexus at a time I didn't know that I was feeling like that. And I was suddenly a mom of 4 girls that, was home most of the time. I needed that friendship. I love friendship. I'm an only child. I crave people. Isn't that funny? A lot of only children like to be by themselves. No, give me my friends. And then you need 4 people who have influence. So you might know somebody who knows lots of people. Oh, I got to write this person down. And the way that you go after those kind of influencers, we call those people on our chicken list, because you're kind of chicken to talk to them about Plexus. But you can always talk to them and compliment them about being an influencer. I'm coming to you because you are a huge influencer. You have a huge following on social media, or everybody looks up to you for XYZ. And I'm just wondering if you know anyone who, fill in the blank, who have some health issues and could use Plexus. If you know anybody who could use an extra couple $100 a month. If you know anybody who could use an extra couple of friends, So it's the who do you know for the influencers. And sometimes when they start thinking about who all they know, well, then they're like, well, I want a piece of this pie. If I know all these people, maybe I should jump on board. And then you just got your first crazy rock star that's going to lead you to Diamond, to Jewel. Okay. There's lots of trainings out there that will tell you just need a couple of people on board that will take off with this business that could completely change your life. Whether you have the time to do that or you're doing that yourself, doesn't matter. Beth just told you about a diamond whose 2 uplines aren't working the business, right? But they were connectors and found that girl who is shooting up to diamond and leaving them in the dust, right? She is changing their lives, okay? So anyway, 64. Print that out.
If you need a good place to start, get the contact list on your phone and start looking through it and go through it and be like, why do they need Plexus? Oh, well, they need Plexus because of this. It's really very eye-opening when you look at your phone list and literally start going through saying why they need Plexus, because you can get that list filled up probably in like your first 2 letters.
You'll get more than 64 for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so our next thing we like to talk about is setting up face-to-face gatherings. So we are not a party company by any means. We do not have quotas on how to do parties or have to do parties or whatever. But I feel like getting in front of your friends and letting them hear you, see your excitement, and see your passion speaks volumes. I always encourage my newbies to do a sip and see. What does that look like? It can look like whatever you want it to look like. If they're local and I can go with them, I do. We sit on the couches at their house and talk life and throw Plexus in, and I tell how Plexus has changed for me. It could be sitting at, your favorite restaurant and saying, hey guys, I just started this new business. I'm super excited about it. Would y'all help support me? It's done this, and this for so many, for my certain friends, whatever. It can be showing them the products. It can be letting them taste the products. But I promise, I will say when we do sip and sees, I would say it's between a 95 and 99% success rate of people either becoming a customer or becoming an ambassador. They can taste it. They can see it. They can see your excitement. It's much different than hiding behind our computer and sending a message or hiding behind our phone and texting. I'm not saying don't do that, But I'm telling you, even if you can send a voice message over a text message, people can hear your voice. How many times do you get a text message and you read it and you're like, oh, was that snarky or was that just straight to the point? You know, like if somebody's just texting you something random, oh, are they like upset with me or are they just being straight to the point, right? You can't read emotion in typed text. You can't hear the emotion. You can't hear the passion or excitement. So maybe that's a coffee. We have a gal who has little kids. She'll do these at parks. She'll say, hey, let's have a play date at the park. And she'll roller stroller out there, put like her Slim and maybe a couple catalogs and a balloon on there so people know where she is. Their kids play and they chat. They chat life. They chat Plexus. You do it in whatever works for you. I've had people who've done big meetings because they like to do that. But getting in front of people is hugely important, and I promise that you will have some success. I'm not saying you have to do it every week. I'm not saying you have to do it every month, but I'm telling you, especially when you first start, getting people in front of you is going to grow your business very quickly.
Okay. Setting up your back office, really there's nothing to set up in your back office. Except for maybe your Paylution, but you'll get a notification of that when you start earning commission of how to set up your Paylution. And that's how you get your paychecks. You want to definitely do direct deposit. That way it comes and it automatically goes to your account. We actually usually get paid several days early. So what's today? The 8th?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we get paid on the 15th, and we actually get paid every Friday. Okay. Well, usually if you have a direct deposit with Paylution, you'll get paid maybe a day or two earlier. At least it has been for the last several years. It's been kind of amazing. And with your back office, you definitely want to have a subscription on and in place. Okay. When you have a subscription in place of your products, that you're going to make sure that you're going to get your products every month. It never fails. I will have people calling me in a panic. They're saying, my products didn't come. Where's my order? I'm like, well, did you check your back office? Is your subscription on? I don't know. They don't even know. So you need to go to a lot of times when people sign up, they'll forget to turn on that subscription because it kind of looks like you might be buying it again right there. You're not. It's going to come that next month, right? So you want to make sure that's on. I usually tell people whatever you order when with your welcome kit, let's say you're getting a triplex welcome kit, get that for your subscription as well, because you want to be on the same products for at least 60 days to make sure that you're doing well. Most people need several months to get their gut healthy, right? We know this is not a quick fix. So setting up your back office. But here we also, Beth and I have a little arrow we have inserted in here to talk about social media, building your brand. People are following you on social media. When I first started with Plexus, I had about 300 Facebook friends. That's not a whole lot, right? It's not, because I was picky. I didn't want to be friends with everybody that I've known in high school and college. I was like, you know what? I really wasn't friends with them back then. I don't need to be friends with them right now. Well, guess what? When I started looking at social media differently, as if I were using it as a place to market my business, I wanted to be everybody's friend. And guess what? It was one of my high school friends that reached out to me and said, you know what? I think my wife might be interested in what you're doing. I think she might, need some of that pink drink that you're doing. And guess what? She's now a diamond on my team. Okay. So he was a connector from high school that I didn't even know I was Facebook friends with, that never commented on anything, but it's those quiet ones.
People are watching always.
People are watching you
always.
So here's on that message: hide your crazy. Okay, everybody doesn't need to know about everything. Okay, there are some things that you can keep private that you don't need to tell the world about. For example, I have a girl, she's young and she's pretty new to the team. And she just posted a couple of days ago about how her son has been to the doctor 12 times since January 2nd or something like that. And how they cannot get rid of this sickness. She's just so mad. But then her next post is about, we have these great vitamins. I love health and wellness. Okay, you've just sending crazy mixed messages to your audience. I know you're dealing with some sickness. Everybody doesn't need to know everything. And it was such a negative post about how mad she was, about how there's all this sickness, And then she's trying to tell everybody about her health and wellness, right? Do you see how that's not building a really good brand there? Not that she needs to lie, but she can always reword things. Some things you just don't even need to share, I mean, really, we're health and wellness. She is a business builder, so she needs to be careful, right? When you're a business builder and you've got people following you and listening to you, they're going to clue into things like that. Don't be posting you went on vacation and you had these huge desserts every single night, and then you're posting about weight loss. That just doesn't go together, right? A once in a while treat makes sense, but let's go and have this huge dessert every single night doesn't really make sense. Do y'all see what I'm saying here?
Sure.
So, and if, don't be negative on social media ever. Don't engage in negativity. If somebody ever replies to a post of yours negatively, delete. I mean, bless and release. We don't need to fight with anybody about anything. There's a lot of closed-minded people when it comes to supplements out there that aren't going to listen to you. They think they know everything. And guess what? I know diamonds in Plexus who were that way. They argued with people. They were the negative Nellies. But guess what? When they started actually researching our ingredients and our products, they came around. Plexus has the most crunchy, green personality people of any other company I know of. People that are scrupulous about ingredients. They want to know about how every single thing works. Why does this have this in it? Why is this gel cap made of this? Why, when should I take this? They know everything about everything. That was not me and Beth.
We listen to them. We have questions. We go to them.
Yeah, we do. But Beth and I will tell you all about our 5 Hawaii trips now, the fun that we're having. We will tell you all about that, and we will help you along the way. But, there's all kinds of people in Plexus, but don't argue on Facebook or any social media. You don't want to argue. You want to build your brand, and you want to be relatable, and you want to be encouraging, and be somebody that, would you want to follow you? Look at some of your posts. Would I want to follow this person? Is a good question to ask.
Yes. Okay, so our last two, we're going to kind of just bulk together because they kind of go a little bit together. Explore Plexus Shareables Library and Training Center. In your back office, there is great information. A lot of times when I need an article, if I need a link to my catalog to send to somebody, if I need a great graphic to show about a product, that's where I go. I go to my back office. There is a training section. I can't remember what it's called exactly right now, but there's not many choices. And there's a training, and then there's a sharing Plexus. And both of those sections have great information in there that you can use to help if you have a question. That's the other thing we were just talking about. Alicia and I are not like super product ingredient gurus, or we're not at all. We know what the products do, but I can't even pronounce half of the ingredients. That's just not my brain. But I have people that can and like know exactly what that product is and where it comes from and what it does and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I go ask them. And so that's why it's important for the next one to stay connected. Become a part of Plexus. Be on our team pages. Be active on our team pages. When there's meetings in the area, when there's, right now the opportunity tour is going around the United States, go to those meetings. When your team has a team lunch, get to that meeting. When there's convention, when there's Super Saturday, go to those meetings because you're building a part of a family and a community, and you have people there. We say it takes a village to raise our kids. It takes a village to do Plexus because some of us are great at graphic making. Not me. Some of us are great at ingredients. Some of us are great at relationships. Some of us are good. We have all these different things. And everybody can't be the best at everything, right? And so one Plexus means we work together. On Tuesday, we did a testimony Zoom. And usually we do our team. And this week I was like, I just want to get some different people. And so I literally went to a page that has other people on there and said, hey, I need some testimonies, 5 minutes. Can anybody help us? People from other teams took time out of their day just to give us their testimony. We help each other. So be active, get to things, be a part of things, get your team included, and you will have success. So that's our 10 things. I'm going to stop recording, and we'll let you ask questions for about 5 minutes, but I'm going to give you all a challenge that I will have a prize for. So let me stop recording because that is what